Good day everyone, my name is Arolo Wolabi, and in today's class we'll be talking about information system for the enterprise. At the end of this video, we should be able to define what information system is, the functions, metrics, and information system that supports human capital management, finance and asset management, customer relationship management, supply chain management, and enterprise resource planning. Moving on to the first subtopic, which is the definition of information system management. Information system management can be defined as a formal organizational system that is designed to collect, process, store, and distribute information. Enterprise simply refers to a business, organization, firm, or company. So we can therefore say that information system for the enterprise refers to any information system that improves the functions of enterprise business process through integration. So I'll be talking about the functions of finance and asset management in the organization. Finance management information systems support the automation and integration of public financial management processes, including budget formulation, execution, accounting, and reporting. Finance information system solution can significantly improve the efficiency and equity of operation and offer a great potential for increasing participation, transparency, and accountability. For example, account payable and account receivable should automatically update the general ledger to streamline reconciliation and consistent reporting. The integration of these components supports the development of streamlined and paperless workflows in the organization.
My name is Eleke Faith Oluwaferomin. I'll be talking about the importance of information system on human capital management. Human capital management consists of all the activities and information systems that support the effective management of organization workforce. And if done properly, human capital management results in hiring new talent, managing employees effectively, and getting the needed skills in organization workforce. Under human capital management, we have the human resource management, workforce management, and talent management. Human resource management, it helps to create and manage the system, process that are needed to acquire, train, and retrain the organization workforce. Then workforce management actually deals with the labor scheduling on how to portion the shift for each worker, and it also helps to optimize productivity and reduce risk. While talent management are the methods or strategies used to get the right people for the job and also help in optimizing their capability while having the company objectives in their mind. Then we move to the human capital metrics, also known as the HR metrics. It refers to the numbers and data the human resource manager make use of to know if the company is running effectively, and also helps in decision making. So there are several kinds of metrics human resource manager can make use of, but I'll be talking about the most common metrics human resource manager can make use of, which include employee turnover, turnover cost, cost per hire, human capital return on investment, employee satisfaction. Firstly, employee turnover. This refers to the percentage of employees who left the company and were replaced within a time period. It could be voluntarily or involuntarily. We also have turnover cost. This refers to the tangible and intangible costs like termination cost, hiring costs, and other costs related to replace an employee.
My name is Lambert Ifnaya, and I'll be speaking on the topic supply chain management. So supply chain management is basically the flow of goods and services from raw materials to finished goods. So we're basically talking about how manufacturers take raw materials and then produce them finished goods and then deliver them to final consumers. Information system of supply chain, that's basically the steps of supply chain. We have plan, source, make, delivery, and return. So plan has to do with the preparation and process of production. There's basically companies try to match supply with aggregate demand of the consumers. So while planning on what the customers demand, they basically have to put in the supply of the demand from the customers so that it can match whatever the customers want. So let's go to source. Source has to do with identifying vendors who will produce goods and services to meet the planned and actual demand of the consumers. So after making plans on what to produce or how to produce them, you source for the vendors or the right vendors that can match your budget for whatever raw materials you may need for the production. And then making of the manufacturing of the product has to do with production of the goods or whatever the consumers want into the taste of the consumers. So you can't take orders from the consumers and then go and produce whatever you feel like. It's not going to make sense because the consumers are definitely going to purchase it or come back to you. Delivery is like an important part of this chain, because without delivery, okay, let's say delivery has to do with moving or transporting the raw materials from the manufacturers all the way to the final consumers as they have requested. So if you make manufacture goods and you don't deliver, that's not going to make sense, because you can't manufacture goods and keep them in your store or your warehouse. It's going to depreciate and be of no use. So after production, you transfer them to the consumers where they are needed. And the fifth one is return. Return is basically the post-delivery customer support. This entails returning supplies or raw materials or goods, maybe they are expired or damaged or defective goods expired that cannot be used by the consumers, back to the suppliers for change or refund. It's also known as reverse logistics. Talking about measuring performance, we have visibility and demand forecast accuracy. So speaking on visibility has to do with how easily managers can track timely and accurate supply chain metrics. For instance, if you want to know how the visibility of your work or duration in an organization, you can use performance analysis of the workers or evaluation. And then demand forecast accuracy works with the sales and marketing teams of an organization. Say for instance, the previous year, in an organization, customers demanded for 50 bags of rice, and then to know how many bags to stock for the next year, you can say, okay, if the feedback you got from previous year was good, you can say, okay, you can actually predict that in the coming year they might need more bags, so you can stock like 50 bags. But if the feedback was less or bad, you can stock less bags in order to avoid loss. Thank you.
My name is Omoke Foma, and I'm here to talk about customer relationship management. First of all, what is customer relationship management? This is the efforts put in by a company to maintain and to build a customer relationship through the entire customer journey. Right from the customer relationship through the sales funnel down to the final purchase customer service. So how does customer relationship work? First, we have the customer retention. What is customer retention? This is the capacity of a company to keep its customers engaged in its product or service. It is also important because it gives the organization insights in its performance, and it's also rooted in data. Then another one, secondly, we have listening to your customers in the sense that you ask the right questions through the use of survey questionnaires, polls, and feedback mechanisms to extract how your customers feel about you and the relationship they feel towards your company. Then finally, we have profitability. Profit, this is the profit a firm makes from serving a customer or customer group. It can also be seen as the difference between revenue earned and the cost associated with customer relationship within a specified period of time. I also have revenue as well. Lastly, revenue is just talking about having a good relationship with your customers, in which they give you feedbacks that will help in maybe adding value, placing values in your products, and by this it increases the revenue of the company. Then now
talking about the customer relationship management technologies, we have email marketing. This is one of the most popular forms of marketing with over 3.9 billion active users across the world. It is very important in the way that it's helpful to reach millions of people at once, offering endless ways to provide information. One of the best ways to ensure that you send the right content to the right people is by combining your email marketing tools with your customer relationship management solution. Then the second technology we'll be looking at is customer service and support. This provides support to both existing and prospective customers in the sense that they send feedbacks to them in the case of maybe customers having problems or they don't know what to do about getting access to a product and all. And customer service must be personalized, it must be competent, and it must be proactive. So let's look at competence, meaning customer sales reps must have a knowledge about the company and its products so that they can be able to render service in solving the customer's problem. And it must be personalized in the sense that customers, the reps have to have this human touch. They have to give them human touch in communicating with their customers so that customers can feel cared about and all, so that they can feel importance in the company, and not just that the company is just there for profit, but they will have it in mind that the company actually cares about their this thing, about what they are doing and the value of their service they are rendering. And it must be proactive in the sense that the company has to reach out to the customers on time to tell them situations on the ground before anything, so that in case there's a problem, the customers, even if they'll be feel bad about it, they won't totally just feel bad because the company has made them know on time. And it must be convenient too as well, because customers, everybody just like convenience, so customers are looking for the most convenient way to speak to these customer reps. So customer service must be convenient. Then we're looking at Salesforce automation. Salesforce automation just is all about all this software, this technological software. For example, let's look at Jumia now. Jumia, there's when you want to get something on Jumia, you have to download the app first of all. Download the app, then by the time you log into their site and all, there's a catalog that brings products and service, what you have to get, product that you need to get from their site and all. So it also offers different mode of delivery and payments. Probably you're paying online or you pay on delivery and all. So it provides all this information in the app. And now let's come to mobile. Mobile in the sense that employees working in the field or remote areas, or remote employees can access customers' information or data or customers' accounts from anywhere they are. They don't necessarily have to be somewhere or be in the company or the employer's premise. They can just access it from wherever they are through the use of mobile phones, through these gadgets, tablets.
My name is Ade Dr. Victoria, and I'll be talking about enterprise resource planning. What is enterprise resource planning? It is a process mostly used by companies to manage and integrate the independent and important parts of their business activities or processes. This place talks about it entails the company's important parts, what they really do, what make up the company, integrating it with technology and software. It ranges from planning to financing to human resource to sales and marketing and to customer relationship. Enterprise resource planning, it provides the enterprise with the ability to automate their repeatable business tasks, those tasks that they do repeatedly. It's just a task that involve
around a cycle, but after doing this, a cycle that is done repeatedly. So enterprise resource planning, it helps to automate them so that like you don't keep doing it manually or physically. You use a software or application to do them and produce the optimal performance from it. So enterprise resource planning has three types. These are the local based enterprise resource planning, cloud based enterprise resource planning, and the hybrid enterprise resource planning. Talking about the local based enterprise resource planning, local based enterprise resource planning mainly involves the use of manual tools, or it's based manually and physically also, compared to cloud-based, which involve software applications and the inputs of technology in achieving the same target. Hybrid is the combination of those local and the cloud-based, which is using the physical manual tools and also the information technology driven tools to get your target performance. Enterprise resource planning is also have 6 components, namely finance components and human resource capital components, manufacturing components, supply chain components, and product lifecycle components, and customer resource relationship components. Talking about the finance component is a software that keeps in track all the financial data, including the general ledger, the account receivables, the accounts payables, the assets management, and the cash management. Talking about this financial component, it's about creating a software whereby it encapsulates all of the financial activities of the companies. Like talking about the general ledger, it tells you about how many inventory that are available, how many inventory is sold, and at their cost value. Talking about the accounts payables, it tells you more about which supplier you are owing money, the amount and the quantity of goods you collected from the customer. It tells you about the time to pay back. Also account receivables, it talks about different debts and their debtors, like those who owes the company's money and their debt plan, either a month, 3 months, or 6 months. Talking about the cash management, this software tells about how cash are being managed in an enterprise, how cash are easily transformed to their liquid fund, to their liquid nature. Assets management, it talks about how the enterprise manage their assets, talking about the depreciation of the assets, the replacement of the assets, and the purchase of new assets needed in the enterprise. The second component is the human capital management component. This talks about, like, it's a software that handles the personal related matters of both the managers and the other lower employees of an organization. This management capital management, it talks about the human resource, talk about the time and attendance of an employee, it talks about the payroll of an employee, it talks about the benefits of an employee, and also the professional and the talent development of an employee. Talking about the human resource, this software tells you it tells you about how many employees that is needed to be acquired, that how many employees that you need to employ, how many employees is readily available, how many employees can be, like what is the gap between the one available and the one you want. So you are going to look forward to, okay, this is amount of employee, like the total number of employee I want to employ, because so that I can meet this certain targets. Talking about the time and attendance of an employee, in order to generate a good payroll for each employer, there needs the time and attendance of each employee needs to be recorded. So it tells you the time they clock in and they clock out. it's also the use of clocking in and out machine, which it automatically records the times that the cake starts working and the time they close from work. Talking about the payroll, the information generated or gathered from the time and attendance software is used in preparing the payroll based on the agreed rates. They prepare the payroll for each employee based on their levels. Also automatically immediately imputes their levels, the time and hours spent, and their time, the hourly rates. It automatically gives you their salary or wages to each employee, so you can prepare their payroll. Talking about the benefits, there are some employees that does overtime, or they does extra things that require some incentives. They meet targets shortly. There are a lot of programs in the companies whereby they are required to give benefits. Talking about the talent and performance development, there's a software that sets an alarm that, okay, this employee needs to acquire more knowledge, to further more, to work more to meet this certain targets. So there's a software whereby it blinks. There's a software in the app that it blinks red, like, okay, this employee is low on the required knowledge for this tax. So when it blinks red, the company is going to know this employee needs to be trained. Then they will decide either internal or the training or external training. Talking about professional development, also professional development is more or less like the talent development, whereby they add more knowledge to the one they already know. Also, we move to the manufacturing component. The manufacturing component provides a view of it's a software also that provides a view of the demand, like they forecast the demand based on historical information. They forecast the demand that they will get for a particular year. Then they work on it. They use that forecast to produce the goods and services, so they won't produce more than required. Also, in manufacturing, we have production management. That's the production management it entails the purchase of raw material, transforming it to finished goods, and yes, making it readily available in the warehouse. Talking about workflow management, about the labor, how they work, the time they work, and how many products they could produce hourly. Talking about the quality control. Quality control is also a software whereby they fill in how the products are substantial materials, if they are okay, if they are readily okay to be distributed to the customers, if it's not harmful, if it would not bring any legal effects to the company. Also the process of the purchase, customers ordering online, and how it gets to the warehouse where they bring it out, then how they deliver it to the customer. Following it is the supply chain management. Supply chain management is the network of facilities that perform the procurement of the materials. Supply is more or less like from the supplier and also the customer. How your inventory, you purchase from the supplier. Okay, you are purchasing like this so amount of raw material, then you process it, how it gets to your final customers, how they order. When they order, they are able to get the actual amount they ordered. Maybe a customer ordered for 50 cartons of a particular product. How the customer is able to get 50 and not 49, or not 49 and a half cartons. So it is about the supply from the suppliers of the raw materials to the production and the final settlement at the customers. And also we have the customer relationship management. Customer relationship management It's an interface. It's a software that creates an interface between the company and the customers. This software helps to build a relationship between the customer and the organization. This software or application has different features, features whereby a customer can lodge complaint, features whereby a customer can add more, give feedback in terms of adding what to add to the product, how to add more value to the product. It's the conveniencing of purchasing the certain product. Talking about product lifecycle management. Product lifecycle management, it is about it's also an app that enable you to know when a certain product needs a change, needs to be readjusted. Like okay, at this life the revenue is reducing, so at this stage we need to add more value to the product by probably changing the color of the product or changing the package so that we can regenerate new revenue to top up the revenue so that it does not decrease, it increases. This product lifecycle ranges from research and the last phase of the component is product lifecycle management. The product lifecycle management entails the research and development support. We are searching for new features to the existing products to increase its revenue. The project management, we are applying all segments of the research to be actualized. Then engineering change management, checking if the change will bring the required revenue. Thank you.